Back now on Triad today, it's my pleasure to have these two lovely ladies with me to tell us all about the Women's Fund of Winston-Salem. Lori Bates, our director. Let's meet them right now. My immediate right, Sabrina Slade is director of the Women's Fund. And next to her is Mary Jamis. She's founding member, so she's been around to watch the progress of the fund, and we'll ask her some questions about that. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Mary, let me start with you for just a second. Tell me about the Women's Fund and its mission in case people don't know.
You know, the Women's Fund was really conceived of this notion that when women come together and think about pooling their resources, both their time, their talent, and their financial resources, that good things can happen, that we can make a difference in our community. And so the Women's Fund really, at its very core and very essence, is really about bringing female philanthropists together to improve the lives of women and girls by really addressing the root causes of the issues that women and girls face in our community.
How did it all get started? I mean, how many years ago and how did it get started?
So this fund was really, we started talking about the fund about 10 years ago, and I had the privilege of really being part of a small group of women who then really very quickly became a larger group of very committed women, a wonderful board of directors who were really committed to this notion of what would happen if there were a collective giving model for women's philanthropy in our community.
And let's just so people will know, because we're going to put up some websites in a little bit, and I want to, just so you won't get confused, Sabrina, let's also remind people that you're all part of the Winston-Salem Foundation, which does great work in trying to put people together to, whether they want to set up trust funds or help to manage the wealth and this kind of thing, to do great things in the community. But you and Mary specifically work on missions for this, which brings me to the question about grants. Explain how grant making goes on.
So we've been able to award about $1.1 million into the community to help agencies that are assisting women and girls with economic security issues. And we do this collectively through our membership. There's 800 members of the Women's Fund, and we pool our money together. And it's money in, money out. And we're able to just sustain a lot of agencies that really need our help.
Can either of you give an example? I don't want to break confidence or anything, but an example of a group or the types of people that might get helped from grants directly?
Absolutely. I'll go back to 2014. We gave away a grant to Circles, Winston-Salem, which is an initiative under the Shalom Project. And the mission of Circles is to help people break the generational poverty cycle. And we were very happy to be able to award them a grant for $10,000. So that's just one of several grants.
And you said girls and women
Absolutely.
can benefit. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, are these sometimes women or girls in crisis?
Some of them are in crisis. Some of them may be in crisis, and I say may be because we look at other issues of preventing things, preventing people from falling into poverty. So we look at issues around education and making sure that women and girls are going into perhaps STEM programming and STEM jobs.
I want to get a quick response from both of you on this, starting with Mary. Who or what motivated you to want to help with this?
You know, I think I often ask the question when I talk about the Women's Fund to women in our community. I talk about, what is it about your early life as a young girl that really you bring to this conversation? And so, because for me, I can look back on my life and I can identify those moments in time, the people who were a part of my family structure, to say that those became very important and critical as I developed an understanding and appreciation of the needs of women and girls. Sure. And so it's my mother and my sister and my grandparents, my grandmother, and then just a wonderful circle of women friends who I've had the opportunity to interact with.
Sabrina?
And I would say similar to Mary, my mother, my family, the women in my family, and understanding that not everyone has access to the things that they need, and I don't want my daughter, I don't want my friends, or even myself to take for granted the fact of what we have and to be appreciative of what we have, but there are so many women and girls who need more.
Well, up on screen, I just applaud the work that the two of you are doing and the foundation as well. Up on screen, a couple things I want to show the folks at home. For trying to help the Women's Fund, which means donating money, and maybe having a meeting with Sabrina and Mary and talking about these things, that is up on screen, Women's Fund, WS.org, and also thanks to the general foundation, the Winston-Salem Foundation. You can see that, WSFoundation.org, and read about all the good work that they're doing. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.